Hi, everyone. Welcome to the My Computer Career discussion on the Skill Bridge Cyber Warrior Program. I am Ryan Sattelberg, a retired Army Sergeant Major and the Director of Military Operations and Campus Director at Nellis Air Force Base. For of you who don't know, Skill Bridge is a transitioning program that is set up to allow service members in their last 180 days to transition successfully from military service to the civilian world through many different options. We offer an employment skills trainer called the Cyber Warrior Program, which allows them to gain skills to be able to enter the IT world upon their transition from service. Um, our Cyber Warrior Program is very similar to the Skill Bridge program. In fact, it's exactly the same thing. It's just we have opened it up to our Army veterans, our Air Force veterans, our Marine veterans, and our Navy veterans, to allow them an opportunity to be able to partake in this fully immersed 12-week program to be able to truly change their life with a career in IT. The program is incredibly job focused, and I believe that that is the important part that our veterans and our active service members need to take from this is that you're going to be fully immersed for 12 weeks, a Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 program that is going to give you the skills necessary to be able to transition into a lucrative and fully satisfying job in the IT world. And what we've done is we brought a couple of our to this program today to be able to share their experiences to let you know what this program is all about. And I want to introduce Jared Childs and Michael Hawks, who are two graduates of the 12-week Air Force Cyber Warrior program out of Nellis Air Force. Welcome, Michael, and welcome, Jared. And then I've also brought Terrell Tinson, a career services specialist who specializes in finding and helping our service members find employment upon graduating from our program. Michael, if you want to introduce yourself and let us know who you are.
Yes, of course. Obviously, my name is Michael Hawks. During my military tenure, I was an aircraft mechanic for communications and navigations at Fairchild Air Force Base. And then near the tail end of it, I had just decided I wanted to do something a little bit less technical and go for more IT and cybersecurity since I practically already lived on a computer anyway. And it just seemed like the right course of action to do and panned out very well for me.
I'm Jared Childs. I retired out of the Air Force for 20 years. I was also an aircraft mechanic. I worked on the avionics systems, guidance control. And toward the end, I've always kind of gravitated towards computers and disassembling them, putting them back together, playing with them, different operating systems. And I didn't like what I was doing. And I wanted to try something new. And I figured I might as well do what I loved. So I looked into this program. Happy I did.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Jared. I want to start with the questioning. Jared, I want to start with you. Can you tell us about why the program, why the Cyber Warrior program was the program that you chose during your process of transition?
So I looked at other skill bridge options. Some things were like strictly one company doing computer things, or like hiring heroes, which had internship, which they placed you with a company, but nothing was guaranteed. And I looked at the Cyber Warrior program and I saw the certifications I would get, which would carry me to more than one job. They would just apply. So I figured that was the better path to go to get the base knowledge, get those certifications, and just be able to put it to use.
Nice.
It was more or less the same situation because while I appreciated the challenges and the skills that I was gaining as being an aircraft mechanic, especially for ComNav, it wasn't something that I wanted to spend the rest of my life doing. So I knew that if I was going to be leaving the military after 10 years, I had to kind of go in the direction that I wanted to. So the Cyber Warrior program was one of those IT programs that had been DoD approved. It was already prepackaged, ready to go, very convenient. They were very communicative about it. And it would allow me to build the foundation that I would need to start a career in IT and then build myself back up to where I really wanted to be when I had originally joined, which was going to be essentially infrastructure security and protection. So cybersecurity.
Yeah, and that's the end state of the Cyber Warrior program is to get into the cybersecurity realm, and we'll get into that here in just a little bit. Let's talk about the coursework, Michael. What was the focus and what was it designed to prepare you for?
The one thing that I really did appreciate about the Cyber Warrior program in regards to what it focused on and in what order that it focused it on was when you start with the A plus course from CompTIA, it's essentially like the very foundational building block. So you're not going to jump in and immediately jump into networking, security, Active Directory, the more complex programs and things that you're going to be working with. You're going to build that foundation and then stack the bricks on top to build a house. And that was one of the things that really worked as far as the focus was concerned, especially with the instructors that they employ at Nellis Air Force Base, is that they know specifically how to teach this to any and all skill sets that are coming through this program. So you can come in crazy advanced, they're still going to teach you new things. You can come in bare bones, knowing nothing about it, and they're still going to teach you how to keep up with everyone else.
And Jared, same question to you.
It wasn't just cybersecurity. It was IT in general. It was the whole shebang of IT. And we did do some cybersecurity stuff toward the end, but even in the way it's designed, it's not like, oh hey, this is the most important part of the course you have to learn. It's just part of it. And I like that because I was looking for the full IT package.
How much experience did you have coming into the Cyber Warrior program in terms of IT?
Nothing formal. Like I mentioned before, I fiddle with my computers. I've changed hard drives out of them. I've put dual operating systems on, stuff like that. But I've never had any formal training. So I was pretty much brand new to the IT world.
Michael, you?
It's more or less the same situation. I had tinkered around on my own just as either hobbies or as a gamer, or in some ways somewhat relatable to the systems that I worked on as far as the Air Force was concerned. But beyond the initial nomenclature and individual components of my computers that I built, I was very limited.
And they were able to take your limited knowledge and progress you to the point after 12 weeks. And so what I want to ask next is, can you talk about, there's a great deal of information that's presented to you in 12 weeks. How was the course delivered to you for you to be able to take that information and apply it in 2 and 3 week increments to be able to earn those certifications that you needed for the next journey, the next part of your journey in life?
Surprisingly, it's very digestible, but going into it, you have to understand that it's based on the level of effort that you put into it. If it's something that you really want to learn and something that you are even just interested in, as long as you put forth the effort to listen to what the instructors are telling you and how they're telling you to do it, you will succeed with the information they give you. They often describe it as drinking from a fire hose, which it can seem like at times, but the program is very carefully and specifically structured for that information to be digestible as long as you go about actually applying yourself. And especially since you're becoming a full time student for those 12 weeks, you don't need to worry about anything else. You just have to show up, learn, ask questions for things that confuse you, and you will get there.
Jared, do you have
Yeah.
anything to add to that?
As long as you focus on what you're doing at the time, don't worry about the overall picture of, oh, hey, I don't know anything about cybersecurity. When are we going to learn cybersecurity? Just focus on what they're trying to teach you piece by piece, and you'll get it. That's what I think.
So we've gone through the 12 weeks and we're going to get into the transition piece now from the Cyber Warrior program into the civilian workforce. And so I want to turn this question to you, Terrell. As a person working around the clock to help students like Jared and Michael prepare for these jobs to transition this into the civilian life, can you talk about what and how career services does to support our cyber warrior students?
Number one, ensuring that they have a sufficient resume, understanding how to network using social media outlets like LinkedIn to reach out to recruiters and things of that nature. And also things like mock interviews that really prepare them to interview and to put their best foot forward when meeting with different employers. We also do pop-ins. which is very important part of our process. We bring in actual IT recruiters and managers to speak with our students while they're in school to also set those proper expectations so they know exactly what employers are looking for, how their certifications will help them get future roles, and also how to grow within the IT.
Nice. So you work closely with these students and the grads and seems like the perfect question for you. Why are service members a natural fit for a career in the IT industry?
I think more than anything, they have a lot of transitional skills. We talk about this all the time. Leadership, critical thinking skills, problem solving, discipline. These are all things that carry over into IT. And a lot of the recruiters that I speak with prefer experienced, veterans because of those particular traits really carry over into the IT world.
Michael and Jared, would you agree with?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. We do have a lot of skills developed over our time in the military, having to deal with the chain of command and whatnot that does translate well.
Many of our individuals, they come in and after 12 weeks, uh, they're speaking a completely different language when they walk out the door with that diploma. To me, that's exciting. There's a lot of opportunity for our service members as they transition out. And specifically for those that are entering into the IT industry, a program such as the Cyber Warrior program is really that stepping block for them to find that financially rewarding and personally rewarding career in the IT industry right out the door of service. What might you say to active duty service members and or veterans who are considering a career in IT and maybe considering the Cyber Warrior program as the program of choice?
Having attempted to apply for a handful of different IT programs that had been approved by the DoD for the Skill Bridge program, I would personally, having been through the program, say Cyber Warrior is the one you want, period. Not just because of their actual response time to certain applications, but how involved they are in the process. Not just from the start of the process being begun, but also from the career services to the instructors to the lifelong alumni that you're going to be a part of, because that is one of the provisions, is that no matter what happens with that program or your career after the fact, say you get hired on by a company after you transition to civilian life, that company, through whatever reason, goes under. The career services for My Computer Career will pick you right back up, help you update your resume for all the experience you gained in that company before it went under, and shotgun it back out and help you find a new position. So it's not just the knowledge that you're going to be gaining, it's the lifelong support that you'll be gaining after the fact.
I absolutely agree with Michael on that. It's a lifelong program, and as far as if you have any interest in computers at all, this is the program for you. There's one of my coworkers. He told me he was trying to get a cybersecurity degree in college, and I was like, if you're interested in IT, this is the program. I can't praise it. I wouldn't have this job without it.
And Terrell, same question to you.
Yeah, absolutely. The industry is ready for qualified professionals. You know, many of our Grassmore program, they are the best challenge in the program, but you're going to receive all the support that you need and ultimately find success. And my ultimate goal is to ensure that, I get you a career in an awesome industry that is growing and, or whatever, you're looking to do moving.
Yeah, as we talk about that and we talk about kind of the end state of the program, we have right now we have enrolled 177 individuals into the program. Of that, 107 have graduated, the remainder are still continuing on. 95% of our students have earned at least one certification. And that is above and beyond the industry standard right now. And it's because of, your experiences in the military, because it's a fully immersed program, because of our instructors, because of the support staff that you have. It all makes everything possible. as I talk to, ESOs and I talk to skill bridge managers, across the United States, they cannot believe the success that we have. And we have to attribute it to the support that we have and the students that we have who are really putting forth the work to make this all possible. So I thank you guys for that. So I guess the next big thing is, what's the next thing for you, Michael?
Well, the next thing is just due to how Telos Industries had treated me during the process of hiring me on, which do we have like a couple of minutes that I might be able to explain? Just based on the certifications that Cyber Warrior program was able to give me.
Go ahead.
I had originally begun the process of, sending out applications, basically just kind of reaching out feelers to see what it was going to be like because I'd spent the last 10 years in the military and it was the first real job that I'd had. So I'd never dealt with job searching before, which luckily Terrell, Holly, all the rest of them had walked me through the entire way between the mock interviews, the resume building, everything of that sort. And I had gotten a hit from one company called Telos Industries, and they wanted to hire me on because of a secret clearance that I had already had. Unfortunately, just before I was to begin work with them, my secret clearance had expired, so they could no longer hire me. But what they told me was, we were so impressed by you getting these 3 certifications over a 12-week period on your own, and your interest and the interviews that we had with you. We're going to keep your information on file, and we're going to see what we can do for you. Then, about a month later, I got another job at Monaco Industries, which was for all of the fire alarm and reporting systems or emergency reporting systems that they install on a handful of military installations. Well, a handful is an understatement, it's most. And they they had hired me on, and unfortunately for Monaco, the Telos gave me a call back about 2 to 3 weeks after I began with Monaco and said, "Hey, so you know how your security clearance expired and we couldn't hire you for that position? Well, we managed to get that renewed on contingency, and we're going to push you forward for a TS. Do you still want that job?" And then we began the negotiation processes. I gave them my initial estimate, and the hiring recruiter went above and beyond as far as I was concerned and said, "Yeah, so what you're asking for, I'll give you 5K more than that." And I was like, "Yes, absolutely, please." And it was for basically help desk type levels where I'm not sort of a jack of all trades, but I have the opportunity to be a jack of all trades. So I'm help desk, but I have the opportunity to be exposed to system administrator, networking, media, AV, and it can just build up for me from there because as I stated with them originally is that my ultimate goal was to build myself up to be a cybersecurity professional. But since I was an aircraft mechanic, I help desk was kind of the way that I wanted to start with it, and Telos was more than willing to give me that opportunity
That's awesome.
because of the Cyber Warrior program.
Jared?
When I started the job search, Holly and Terrell were a big help. The LinkedIn, they connected me with Jacobs, and it was pretty much a whirlwind from there. I got a job offer. I asked if my direct supervisor, if he was going to be my direct supervisor, the person I was in contact with, if that was good. He was like, "Yeah, you should maybe go for this." And I was like, "All right." And I countered, and I got a job offer. And I similar to Michael, I work in a help desk, but I'm surrounded by all the different agencies. I'm surrounded by switches. I'm surrounded by IA, cybersecurity, all sorts of different things. And at least a couple times a year, they'll have openings and be like, "Hey, you want to go there?" And they'll ask people in the office. I'm still new. I don't want to move yet. But eventually, if I get bored with help desk, there's so much opportunity to just transition to pivot over to something else. And then maybe I'll get my CCNA if I want to do switches or go in other things. I know we have other graduates who some went with their CISSP because they just wanted to go top. So I mean, it's really just up to the graduate what they want to do. Pretty great.
I mean, the Cyber Warrior program is really meant to get your foot in the door, because there are higher level certifications that can be earned, not just through My Computer Career. I mean, they're just out there. But obviously, this is the first step as you transition out to have that basic understanding of what the IT industry is looking for. And you can get that through the Cyber Warrior program. Again, it's a 12-week program. It's a Monday through Friday, 8 hours a day, and you're in, you're out, and you're employed. And that's really the bottom line about the program, is that we are turning you from a novice into a employed individual in a matter of weeks instead of months and years. And specifically for our veterans and our active duty service members who bring so much already to the table, this is the perfect kind of program for you to catapult yourself into a new way of life and into a new kind of environment. And ultimately, as witnessed by Michael and Jared, you can be successful. Just starting out from the basic help desk, opportunities arise from the experiences that you gain through a program such as the Cyber Warrior program. And so we look forward to hearing from you about you taking the next step as we prepare to move our program, not just at Nellis, we now have it live online. So you're going to get the same exact 12-week program live online, where you can attend from anywhere in the United States, anywhere that you live right now. You can attend this program and change your life in a matter of 12 weeks. I appreciate you guys all for coming tonight. I look forward to seeing Michael and Jared continuing to change your life and advance in your career. And we look forward to having you back again here soon.
Of course, whenever you want us.
And thank you, Terrell, taking time out of your day, because I know you got a lot to do.
Thank you. Appreciate it.